Small drywall repairs are very easy. Take a look here, and we've got a couple of scratches here that we're going to repair, and the screw holes. Now, when you have a scratch, first thing you've got to do is get that piece off of there. You just take any kind of a tool, like you're shaving, men. You can get that piece of paper off. It's very easy. If you don't have a chisel, you can use what's called a multi-scraper, or my favorite, of course, is the spatula. And you see what I'm doing is I'm getting that ridge off of there. It's very easy. See that little piece of paper that's sticking up? I just pull it off. Now I'm ready to repair that one. Look at this one here where it's got all that sticking on there. Just get it off there real quick. A little bit staying on is not going to make a lot of difference because we're going to put mud on there. Now that one's going to take a little more shaving than... Doesn't matter how much damage you're doing, you're getting ready to repair it. Now, to look at these holes here, you just take your finger on them, make sure that screw is in the drywall. All of these, you just check them to see if anything's sticking up. Nothing's sticking up. Now, this is a little more expensive drywall joint compound. It's called ultra lightweight. I like to use it because it sands so easy. Now, make sure your tool is relatively clean on the blade right there. You don't want any buildup. Now, if you take a look at the blade, it has a little bit of a curve to it like this. That's what, if it doesn't make it have a curve, just take a very little bit on there and work it. Make sure that it goes in the cracks, and then just make a long sweep like that and just wait for that to dry. Same thing here, look. You gotta make sure, you see what I'm doing? I'm trying to get the mud in as much as I can, and then just do a light stroke. Now look, I took too much off. That's easy to make that mistake. You want something on there to be able to sand. Now I'll show you how you do these holes. You want just a little bit of mud on one end of the trowel, right here, because you're gonna go like that. You see how it bubbled up a little bit? Well, what I want is a lot of caking all the way around the hole, so I've got something to sand. You see how that one totally missed the hole? You got to get it in there, and just a light like that. It's very simple. You'll get the knack of it as soon as you do a few. But if you notice, I go two directions. Now look, I've got a little see-through here. That's okay. And then I've got a little bit of bubble build up there. That's okay too, because it's going to be very easy to sand that off. Look, you see that little bruise there? Well, you just put a little bit on there, like there. And here's another scratch here. Now I've already got work over here. I don't want to get any on there. And just let that dry. That Calip's going to come right off when you sand. And then here, like that. Now, look at here. I got multiple problems here. This is about the easiest one. You just take some of the mud and you leave it on there. And just give it one light stroke. Now that's not enough mud to get rid of the problem. Because there's so many, I want to put a lot of mud on there. Over here I got just a very few left. I want to leave a little for sanding. And then remember, I've already touched this area, so I don't want to re-get it. Now that's a lot of mud there. It's not a problem. You'll get used to this. A lot of people don't like to use a lot of mud because they don't want to do any sanding. But this is such a little amount of sanding. Now wait for that to dry and sand it off and then continue. Thank you. And of course here I'm using the ultra lightweight. It's a little more expensive. There's the lightweight. And the two that I don't have here right now, one is called joint compound, and then another one is called topping, and one of them is called base. You can use anything you want. It's just the difference in drying time. Now remember, I don't always clean my tools off, but what I do is I just take them and just scrape a little bit off of there, and you could run it on your drywall. That's ready to go for the next job. It's relatively clean. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to sand the drywall patches. I'd like you to look at my sandpaper here. It's pretty fine grit. It's 120. You can actually use 220 if you want, which is much finer. But it's not a car. We're just trying to knock down some of this stuff. I'd like to show you some of the harder stuff first. Remember I said those calips are easy to get rid of? I'm just going to show you. First off, I'm going to tip my sander back so I'm not catching that half. I can't tell you how easy it is. Now look, you don't even need a sander if you just want to get a piece of sandpaper and do these by hand. Because sometimes if you sand it with the sander, you're going to take too much off. Now right here I want to take more off, so I'm going to use the sander here. Now there's a little bit of a ridge here, not much. But if you look at some of the work, you'll see these little indentations. It's called shrinkage here and here. But that's why I wanted to put more mud on, so I got something to sand out around there. Now, if you look at it, all the mud is gone from around it. It just makes it so easy. Here I got a lot of mud. I'm going to work my way around it. And I hope you see how easy this is. See that little divot there? I can get rid of that. No, I'm going to have to touch that one up a little bit. Now here's 3 up here. Okay. Well, I sure hope I'm making this look easy. Anybody can do this. I'm going to give this a second coat in a second, but now I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. Okay, now before I drywall, I want to make sure to get the dust off, whether you're using a rag or your hand. It's such a small piece. You want to get all that dust off of there, because if you don't, when you're pulling mud, you get a little bit of imperfection here. I'm going to use mud right out of the container here because I don't need much. Right here, there's a little divot. I'm just going to put a little bit there, let it dry. That's way too much. Right here my scratch is showing still, so I'm going to just put a lot more on there now that I have a base. Here a little bit, here the scratch is showing here. I don't know, there's hardly any work. There's a little divot showing there. I'm just going to put a little mud on the corner. Well, probably all I'm trying to do is get rid of, see that tiny divot there and there? I probably didn't give you enough time to see that. Okay, here's the last one I'm going to show you right there. You see very little, almost you can't see the shadow of it, but if you put your tool in it, you can see there's a small spot there. Just let that dry and give it a hand sanding. Okay. You got to make sure your drywall tops are on. If you don't, you'll end up having chalky drywall mud. I don't want to show you again an easy way to clean it. You can clean it on 2x4, and if you want to just polish it down a little bit, take it on your concrete floor, or if you got wood floor. I'm back to clean again. You want to make sure that edge is cleaned for next time you use it. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to do the final sanding on this very easy drywall repair job. You can see here it's got the biggest dam, but look at how soft my mud is. But anyway, watch quickly. I'm going to hit a little bit on this side, hit a little bit on that side, try not to over sand. Sand marks will completely disappear when you heat. This stuff's so soft, I love it. Here's a couple of more. I guess this is just too easy. Anybody can do it. You can see that, but when you paint over it, it's just going to be as smooth as can be. And right here I have a little tiny too much. If you see here where you brown the drywall a little bit, that's like a wear indicator. It's telling you you're going too fast. I'm just going to do a spot to show you how quick you get down to it. That's how quick you get down to that. It's nothing to worry about. A lot of people don't know that. And this job is ready for paint.